Hello everybody, it is Luna and today we're doing another tea time reading. I haven't done one in forever and I felt like it was time for me to do one. Since we are coming up on the end of February, I decided to read The Clockwork Rose from the Princess Portal. It's more Lolita adjacent, but it doesn't seem like it was unusual for people to write these like little flash fictions. That kind of had the same vibe and aesthetic as Lolita fashion, and I really liked this story and I thought it was very fun. So I have my phone because my laptop and I do not get along for these videos. My phone works way better, so we will be using that. So without further ado, The Clockwork Rose. The Clockwork Rose. In the grand old days of France, when the king still wore his crown, and there was no greater jewel in the world than fair Paris, there lived a poor watchmaker. Although he was young and remarkably handsome, he was not content to live in his small village with its small-minded people. For you see, our watchmaker was a dreamer, and as he sat in his tiny workshop, bent over a minute piece of clockwork, he would dream of all the glories of the court, the beautiful ladies and dashing gentlemen, of wigs and gowns and flowers, of parties and balls and great feasts. And those dreams remained just that for a while. Now because he was a very good watchmaker, customers came from all over France to have him create beautiful clocks and mechanical trinkets for them. His creations were all unique and made with such skill and attention to detail that they were loved as marvels and treasures by their fortunate owners. It was one fine midsummer's day when a wealthy gentleman called upon the watchmaker to create a piece of unequaled beauty. It was for a lady of the court whom he wished to woo, and her name was Rose. It took the watchmaker many months to complete this piece, because it was far more than a simple carriage clock. The priceless creation was in the image of a tiny rose, perfect in every detail. Its leaves were embedded with emeralds, and its petals shone with vermilion glass and ruby studs. The stem was wrought of the finest gold, and for all its jewels, its true magic was in the clever automation designed by the gifted tradesman. For within the winding of a filigreed key, the rose would utter the sweet melody of an ancient love song, and ever so slowly, like a graceful butterfly unfurling its wings, the rosebud would blossom, spreading its gossamer petals to catch and refract 1,000 beams of light. At its very heart was a tiny white dove that would rise to flap its wings and return to its flowery bed. The gentleman was thrilled with this masterpiece in miniature. He praised the watchmaker and paid him handsomely for his work. He also requested that the young man should deliver the gift to the lady himself, as the lord was called away on urgent business. And so he set off to the city of dreams to meet this fair lady, and bestow upon her his finest work. She met him in her grand house and received the jeweled contraption with all the joy and wonder of a small child. And it was this innocence, and perhaps his own, that led the watchmaker to fall madly in love with the lady, the namesake of his own creation. The Lady Rose, indeed, was as deeply smitten with the young tradesman as he was with her, and they proceeded to meet in secret along the canals, in private gardens and little parks. In secret their love blossomed like the golden treasure that had brought them together, and they supped on the fruits of youth and beauty with the delight that only poets and princes may share. And yet it was a love doomed from the moment its seeds were planted, and very soon the gentleman who commissioned the creation of the rose heard of his lady's secret lover and returned to Paris in a scarlet rage. He came upon them in her gardens and challenged the watchmaker to a duel. Knowing her sweet love stood no chance, fair Rose put herself between the two and promised to marry the gentleman, should he only spare the watchmaker. The lord consented, and the watchmaker was driven out of town, with only the memory of her tears and a single petal of that fatal rose. What happened to the fabulous creation, none know for sure. Some say she kept it, others say that the petals wilted and the gold tarnished, so that it became a symbol of their tragedy. However, this legend survives in the Verdelet family, along with a filigreed key and dreams of an era long past. That is a really fun story. I think it's entirely fiction. I'm not sure if maybe it could be based on an actual fairy tale. This would be the second time on the Tea Time reading that I've read a fictional story. The first one, oh goodness, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a gothic Lolita story with like intrigue and murder. I'll put a link to that one in the description. That one is very psychedelic, and I'm not even 100% sure what happened in that story. Whereas this is a lot more straightforward. It's very fun. The little bit of like melancholy and bittersweet at the end seems to be, I mean, I only have 2 stories, but seems to really kind of mesh with the gothic part of Elegant Gothic Lolita. I wasn't around, or I'm having a very hard time finding stuff from 2000 to 2008. 2008 is really when I'm able to start finding things related to Lolita fashion, and I'm very interested in this gap between where the magazines really kind of stopped and the internet picked up. Trying to find the early 2000s gap, like, of Lolita fashion has been challenging, and I have not even attempted to get to the 90s yet. I kind of keep hitting a wall around 2008. I think the furthest back I've successfully gotten is 2006. But that's not a lot of stuff. That's like one thing here or there. Yes, this blog that I'm reading, The Princess Portal, was started in 2006, which is one that I really enjoy going to, and I'm really happy that the Wayback Machine preserved it. I know it was really popular back in the day. I'm currently working to try to find less popular blogs. I had a lot of help from the Lolita Fashion Research, the EGL Research Center on Facebook. They were able to send me a lot of places. The resources I was able to find there for more historical, quote-unquote historical, Lolita fashion things are stuff that I think would make more sense for me to record in a webcast sort of situation and screen record, because a lot of it is things like forums or websites that would be difficult for me to read out loud, unlike these individual articles and essays. I don't know if this was ever a big thing in Lolita fashion, but I think it would be fun to either bring it back or start it to make these fictional stories and kind of explore, like, aesthetically some of the, like, ideals, aesthetics, motifs that tend to pop up in Lolita fashion through fiction. I think it'd be really fun if we could, like, start writing little stories like this again and sharing them with each other, because I think it'd be one way to enjoy the lifestyle and the feel of it without being as consumerist. As you guys know, I'm on a no-buy this year, so I'm definitely enjoying a lot of the lifestyle stuff more again now that I am, like, cut off from getting new clothes. And I've also been appreciating my wardrobe a lot more. I really, really liked this story a lot. It was cute and romantic and tragic, and it was like a little 5-minute read. I don't really have a lot to add to it other than I liked it, and it really fit the vibe super well. And I really am planning on coming back to this series. This was a series I was doing really consistently on my channel, and then I kind of got sidetracked with other things. So I'm going to try to at least do one tea time reading a month, because I got comments that were like, this is great, and I'm like, I haven't done this in a while. I should keep it up because I want to share these stories, and also stuff is disappearing off the internet. Even off of, like, the Wayback Machine, certain things just can't be saved, like photos, and I want to keep talking about these things or bringing more interest in archiving things, because some of it's just gone forever, which is not what we think about when we think about the internet. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I will see you next time. Remember to drink some water, eat good food, and get some rest. Luna